Hey guys, it's Shukrani here, and today I'll be reviewing Crystal Corridor by Knots. Crystal Corridor is Knots' newest masterpiece, being even better than all of his previous levels, which are all very impressive. It's amazing how a creator is able to keep up this standard of amazing levels for so long. This first part serves as a nice intro. I love the cymbals pulsing in the background, and it helps the level feel techy. That transition is amazing, syncing to the song well and flowing nicely into the next part. As you can see, Knots put a lot of effort into the theme already, with different crystal designs floating in the background and a distinguished pink and gray color scheme. This part, like many others, is a bit hard to learn, but pretty fun once you have it down. I love how often Knots switches up parts. It gives you just enough time to enjoy the part, but doesn't leave it on for too long, which keeps the level interesting. Something else Knots levels have that other modern levels don't is good glow usage, and I think other modern creators should use it as well, as it adds a lot to the level in my opinion. I have no idea what that transition is supposed to be, but it syncs well, so I'll let it pass. This whole break part is a bit too simple in my opinion and could use some background elements, although the colors in this part are very nice, and it's definitely the highlight. This is the only part in the level that doesn't really stick to the theme, and it's a bit disappointing, as I know what Knots is capable of, and this didn't really meet the standards for me. It gets a little better in the spider, though, as the block design is better here, although it's still lacking a bit. These blue orbs up here are not fun, and require a lot of dumb, luck-based spam, ruining the flow for me. This next part is probably my favorite though, having some awesome art and immersement into the theme. The gameplay here is also super fun to learn and to play, and is one of the best parts to go through. Two big highlights of the decoration are the colors, having some well done pulsing that syncs to the song, and the movements, which are very dynamic and natural. I do wish the huge platforms in the background weren't covering so much of the screen up though, as the other parts of the background look great and should have most of the attention of the player. The transition into the next part, like most others, doesn't make sense according to the theme, but still looks great. I know modern levels are mostly abstract, but if you have a theme, I feel like you should stick to it and connect it to every aspect of the level. I would say this part's gameplay is bad, but I never actually died here in normal mode despite it being somewhat awkward. This transition, gameplay-wise, is very awkward, and I frequently died at the yellow orb, probably about 30 times to just the yellow orb, and then maybe 15 times trying to align my ship with the first few corridors. Basically, the orb should be removed, as it severely took the fun out of beating this level. While this transition looks good and actually fits with the theme, the transition out of it is very sudden and blind, as you are thrown into a jump about half a second after you start seeing the gameplay. I do think this part is really cool though, especially the background, which looks like a crystal being created. At some points though, this part feels a bit cluttered, with many foreground elements on the screen at the same time. While this mini wave is easy and not awkward, I feel like the gameplay could have been more creative here. You can really start to feel the intensity here, which is always nice before a drop. While the upcoming transition looks nice and feels intense, the transition into the ship is slightly awkward and easy to die at. This could be fixed by either nerfing the spaces or creating a visible platform to help the player. I'm not going to rant on too much about how bad the gameplay from here to 100 is, let's just say it's pretty confusing. The decoration here though is phenomenal, with a nice space vibe and many foreground elements frequently moving around and changing. The transition here is so cool. A white screen forming out of the moon platform and forming the background, which is really nice looking by the way. It's supposed to be a city, although it looks a bit warped in my opinion. The last part of the level is a bit underwhelming compared to the last two parts, but is a fitting end as it features a lot of crystal art, hence the theme. Well, that's it for this review. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry for the lack of high quality content. I haven't had much time, as most of my time in Geometry Dash in the past few days has been spent creating my solo as well as some other stuff. Well, that's it. Peace. Shoot Cranny out.